as he does after every game. Bucky McMillan joining us here courtside, and my job is to ask questions, and I'm going to simply ask you, how?
Man, I don't even know some of the things we do out there sometimes, but I'll say this. I told our players, man, that game was won with a lot of heart. You know, we're fighting. We know what we're fighting for here. And I told the guys that, you know, in spite of it all, we had some execution could have been better. But we could have come out here and we could have made every three, and maybe we win by 15 to 20. But that's a story right there where you had to persevere, and you had to play tired, and you had to keep fighting. That's where great stories are made, and you'll remember that the rest of their life.
Exactly.
And that was because we know what's on the line. That's like an NCAA tournament first-round game.
Agreed.
It is.
And they'll remember that where they didn't wilt. They stayed with it. And, you know, I felt when we were early in the year, the second game of the season or whenever that was, we played Central Florida, we wilted late. And so that loss may have won this game where our guys stayed with it. And you're going to say, well, we didn't shoot it well, we didn't do this well down the stretch. That's not what I'm talking about. We kept rebounding the ball.
Yeah.
We kept fighting.
Coming up with big steals when you had to have them.
Massive ones. Ali D be playing to win. What about this? What about the confidence of Ruben to be cold off the bench, come in there and make the biggest three of the game? Or Marcus, we got to go to the game-winning play. No one can get anything done, and we just go clear out for Marcus. He gets an in-one.
And then maybe the most difficult shot he had all night.
I agree. The
other thing is what was so as coaches, you're down there doing the best you can to put them in position to win. And there were so many plays, and we'll have to sit and talk about it, the 3 overtime deals. But when you got down to that last play, when you had a 3-point lead and you have a timeout, I mean, it was amazing how it unfolded. Tell us about that.
Well, we supposed to foul them right there, before they get to half court. And, you know, we put Josh in the game because he's done that several times at Sanford. So we put him on the inbound. We thought they'd go back to inbound. We're supposed to take the foul well before the ball screen. And for some reason, I don't know what happened. I got to go watch it. I'm looking up, and their best shooter's shooting a wide-open three. I've never seen anything like that. We literally were out there at half court pointing to the area. So, you know, so sometimes there's game slippage, or maybe we fouled and I don't know. But we didn't execute well on that one. Yeah. I can tell you that one. That's one that we got to take away and figure out why. We're all on the same page, and we got to learn from that. But it's a lot better to learn through winning.
Well, the other thing about it, you talked about through the course of the year, you're always going to live and die with the shot, and people shooting the shot they're supposed to shoot. They weren't going at certain times, but that ability to be consistent. Rashawn said, hey, Ruben, you're going to shoot this almost. He touched it, got it back to him, and gave it back to him again. That's the kind of confidence they have in playing this way.
We were right behind Ruben. I just told him, Ruben, you got to get one off here. You got to find a way to get one off. And they knew that. And I think our guys, they were, look, it is what it is. Those guys were pretty tired. Look at the minutes played in that game.
Yeah.
Right. And there were so many ebbs and flows to that game. We start off, it's really up-tempo. We can't make a shot. We're getting decent shots. We can't make one. They're playing well. Then we had to get back in the game by kind of turning them over and ramping up our pressure. But then we go to overtime, and they're in the bonus. We're in foul trouble. We're not going to have enough energy to play a full-court game. We have to play more of a half-court game. The game slows down to a walk because, everybody's gassed.
They're tired.
I mean, this is the 15th round of an old-school heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
And it just had to make one more play. And it was good to see our guys board up. But, look, hats off to LSU. I've said this. They had a great non-league play. I think they were a top 25 team. One of their guards got hurt, couldn't play in conference play. But they have been in every single game. It's been unbelievable. They've been right there. I told their coach, Coach McMahon, that, if that point guard didn't go down, or even in spite of that, I know we had one go down, McKenzie, but they were right there in all these games. Their record could be totally different. So I knew this was a good team. There's a reason why it was predicted to be a very close game. And,
how about the fact that you talked about how the game transitioned from full court pressure, which had an impact on them? We didn't turn it over. We made them turn it over.
Yep.
But how about how big the defensive rebounding was late, whether it was Zach or Ali Diba or Rashawn or Marcus? I mean, just absolutely a team, again, we give up inches to in length, come up with big boards.
Everybody. You go down Zach 12, Rashawn 11, Marcus 5, Pop 7, Ryland Griffin 7. All the way down, and Ali Diva in the game has 5 steals. I think probably the biggest difference in the game, we had 10 turnovers, they had 22, and that's always a positive. We had 18 offensive rebounds, they had 13. So when you start doing the math on that, you're looking at getting about 17 more shots than your opponent. We got to talk about Ryland Griffin.
Carries you early.
I mean, he knows he's been through this, and I challenge him to, Ryland's one of these guys, if you tell him he can't do something, he's more likely to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
But 2 games in a row right there, he has just been like we talk about, not a role player, a real player.
Yeah.
And
not just making bombs. I mean, what he did defensively and because you had him in with your defensive group. They're late.
He had 6 steals in the game.
Yep.
3 assists, 24 points, 7 rebounds. He had 4 fouls late in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was in the game, we were plus 23 in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you could just see, like, his tenacity before we even got in the building today. He knew what it was. And when we recruited Ryland, I said, man, you get here, Ryland. I know people are counting us out. We don't have a roster. But if you'll trust we'll get here, we'll get to this NCAA tournament. And if people don't think that are recruiting you and they don't believe that, that's because they don't know how good you are. And here we go, just knocking on the door right here to do something.
And you
really
say
special.
that's a guy who went to the final, so he knows, right? This isn't new to him.
He knows what it takes.
Yeah.
And, 5 for 8 from 3 in the game when we absolutely had to have it. Zach didn't have his best shooting night, but,
Career best 12 rebounds, right?
He did. That's exactly right. So
and big rebounds in big times.
Yeah.
And we beat a team that I felt, not only they a good team, I thought they played well tonight.
They did.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think they would have beat a lot of teams tonight. And particularly when you have the lead, you lose it. There's another overtime, you lose it. There's another overtime.
I mean, on the road.
It's very easy to just pack it on in.
Yeah.
And, we had to use everybody. Even late in the game, we went zone. We had Fetty in the game.
Yeah.
We had to use everybody. So
I thought again that there's so many things you do that and you put them in a position to win, whether it's a stumble, whether it's a slip, whether when you change defenses and went zone, you knew they thought that it was going to be man, and they ended up settling for a shot that's not what they expected to shoot.
we couldn't let him get one at the rim. And we had some weird things happen with us late in the game. We every time we have a last-second shot, somehow we'd slip and fall or something. It was really one of those weird nights.
Yeah.
But
it's usually like it's wet, but it's like their traction was just so tight. You stumbled.
It was unbelievable. I like us pushing the ball late. We're best pushing the ball. But I'm going to tell you, there's one time I've ever coached a game where I understood them not pushing the ball, and it was that game.
Yeah.
Just
Agreed.
because they played so many minutes.
Yes.
And they were conserving to try to play defense.
Right.
And they knew what it was, So it's just a valiant effort, man. It's one thing to do it when you're playing 20 minutes, 25 minutes to play hard, but Rashawn Agee played 47 minutes.
47.
Pop, 45. Ryland, 47.
Yeah.
Zach, 41. Ollie, 37.
How about Ollie, 37? Though?
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
How about his finishes at the basket? It's tough sledding with their length and their strength in there. And he did 2 things going on and using the rim and off the glass that were just critical.
When you needed that.
And the game was, even though they didn't get much minutes, Ruben comes in there, Marcus comes in there with not as many minutes, but played like they've been in the whole game.
Yeah.
And they were fresh when we had to have them. You don't win too many games where you shoot 36% from the field on the road. 68% from the free throw line, 30% from 3. You say, how do you win that? Because they shot a higher percentage. Because we got significantly more offensive rebounds, 5 more, and we turned them over 22 times to our 10, and that's a result of incredible effort.
When things go bad in certain situations, sometimes you'll see Pete, not necessarily finger pointing, but head gets down, oh, woe is me, and you did not see that at all with all the things that were going on there. If anything, and you always preach this about when the possession changes, you got to be into the defense. And how many times did we turn it over and then get it right back because they matched up?
I thought in some spots this season we allowed a call to allow us to lose our focus. I felt that we could allow a fatigue to do that. And I really thought the leadership of Rashawn and Ryland in that game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
You may have heard Alexander the Great quote. It's like, I'd rather fight against an army of sheep led by a lion than an army of lions led by a sheep. Right? And I've told that quote to those guys right there. I'm not saying we're an army of sheep. You want lions led by lions.
Yep.
But those 2 guys, they were lions today.
Yeah.
And they were lions when things weren't going well, and that's what it takes.
Quick thought. 11 wins, 5 on the road. Winning record 5-4 on the road, 6-3 at home, 11-7, Bucky. 21. Your 120th win, you flat out earned it. But you've talked about this team, 11-7. It's impressive.
Well, I mentioned that to the guys. I thought that our A&M team last year, I know I wasn't here, still feels like I was a part of it because I got to know those guys, was a great team. They had guys that had been here for years and went 11-7 in the league. That was an incredible season.
Yeah.
This group needed to carry it on. We couldn't allow that group to build a program and this group comes in here and they say, quote, it's a rebuilding year because no returners, and we come out here and win 2 league games. That's disrespectful to the guys who fought.
Yeah.
Guys like this man right here.
Yeah.
Can't do that. You play for something bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I mean this. This will allow our group to take the next step from here in years to come.
Yes.
And we're going to do a lot this coming year. But, you know, it's just really hard when you don't get momentum. And these guys who all came here, not even knowing who's going to be on the roster. And I told them, you know, we get here, we'll get to this NCAA tournament. And I've never wanted it so bad for a group of guys.
Yeah.
Like, they really, really deserved it. And so I'm really proud of them. And, you know, we'll like at the 5 or the 6 right there. But if you told us before the season, a lot of people picked us 13th through 16th, and we'll be top 5 or 6 in the lead heading into Nashville with another great opportunity.
Yeah.
You'd have to say, let's roll. You know, let's go do it.
It's totally earned and deserved, and proud of you guys and you for getting us there.
Well, I'm proud of y'all for being here. Y'all had to watch it. I'm gonna tell you what though. We better be fouling back here. We better be fouling, because I'm going to tell you what, if he had made that 3, you know, I talk about being resilient. I don't know how resilient I would have been. It would have been the first time you would have seen a coach strangle a player in the middle of the game right there. I couldn't even be that resilient. You know? So y'all may have had to coach the team.
As always, thank you so much, Bucky.
Appreciate y'all.
You.
Giggle.